We were not designed to eat from the moment our eyes open until the moment they close. But that's what many of us are doing nowadays. Snacking and grazing all day, and our bodies are paying the price. Today I will show you how intermittent fasting breaks the cycle and why so many people finally see good results in terms of weight loss, calmer hunger and better sleep. I am Dr. Almerie, weight loss surgeon, and this is Diet Decoded, where we turn nutritional myths into simple, practical tools that we could work in our daily lives. Stay with me for the next few minutes and you will learn the science nobody explains, the steps that makes fasting easier, and the tools that turn frustration into real lasting results. Let's dive in. Intermittent fasting is not magic, it is physiology. And the key part of that physiology is insulin. Every time we eat, insulin rises. Snacking, sipping calories, late night pickings, they all keep our insulin elevated. That matters because when insulin stays high, the body struggles to burn fat. It stays in a fat storage mode. Over time, that kind of constant elevation leads to insulin resistance, where the cells stop responding to the insulin. If that happens, the sugar will stay in the bloodstream rather than entering the cells. And when the cells don't receive the sugar, they will send a signal to the brain, we are hungry. So the brain will send a signal to the body, eat again. And then you eat again, the insulin rises again, but it doesn't work well. This is what we call insulin resistance, and it is one of the major drives for type 2 diabetes. The good news is that fasting could break that cycle. It gives the body long quiet hours without insulin spikes, and that will improve the insulin sensitivity, and then the sugar handling will be smoother. That constant fat locking mechanism will ease and the body will switch into a fat burning mode without much resistance. This is not theory. The data backs it, the lived experience backs it. So let's open the evidence and see what the science shows about intermittent fasting. So what does the research say? A lot. We now have dozens of studies on intermittent fasting and several big meta-analyses that pull the evidence together from multiple studies. These studies are published in the most prestigious medical journals, something like JAMA, New England Journal of Medicine, and The Lancet. Across all of this, one message stands out. Intermittent fasting helps people lose weight and improves how the body handles the fat, the sugar, and inflammation. For simplicity of the wide benefits, it is easier to bring them down under 3 clear wins. The first win is real weight loss, which we see with intermittent fasting. Most people lose weight in the first 1 to 6 months. On average, that weight loss is about 5 to 10% of the body weight. Let's say if someone weighs about 200 pounds, you might lose something between 10 and 20 pounds with intermittent fasting. For many people, that's enough to feel lighter on their joints, have more energy, and see their blood test results starting to improve. The second win is better metabolic health, thanks to the metabolic switch that comes with intermittent fasting. In fact, this is the heart of the science. When you fast, your body moves from using stored sugar into using stored fat. This shift produces ketones, and the ketones are known to help the body regulate sugar more smoothly, reduce the inflammation, and clear out the damaged cells. We see that clearly in the lab results. Cholesterol down, triglyceride down, fasting sugar down, fasting insulin down, and that leads to real improvements in everyday health. Better control of type 2 diabetes, better outcomes from fatty liver disease. The third and biggest win of intermittent fasting is that people can actually stick with it. In clinical trials, adherences was quite high, something in the range of 75% to 97% of people stayed on the plan. And that's something we don't usually see in traditional dieting trials. And it does matter, because a diet could only work if we can live with it. Let me show you how intermittent fasting works through the story of Alex, who's starting this journey for the first time. A few days ago, Alex's doctor gave a clear warning. Her weight was rising, her sugar and fat levels were high, and she was heading straight into diabetes, one step away from starting cholesterol and diabetes medications. Alex knew something needed to change, but the biggest problem was not the meals. It was the constant snacking. Morning biscuits, afternoon picking, and the last bite before bed. Food felt like it was happening all the time. The cravings never stopped, so when Alex heard about intermittent fasting, there was a quiet hope that this might finally calm the 24/7 cravings. Alex started gently with a 12-hour window, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And to help herself stay consistent, she downloaded a simple intermittent fasting app Nothing complicated. It's just a timer that shows her when the fasting window starts and when it closes. Seeing the clock counting down gave her structure and a little encouragement each time she completed a window. At 8 a.m. in the morning, the cravings arrived right on schedule. Her body expected the usual snack, but instead of eating, Alice made a raspberry herbal tea, an infusion warm enough that helped her to settle the urge, and the hunger faded faster than she expected. That's when she realized many of her cravings were not hunger at all. They were thirst and habit, a small discovery, but a very powerful one. A few days later, the mornings felt calmer, so Alex gently pushed her starting window from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Only 1 hour, but it felt like a real progress, a sign that her body was starting to learn a new rhythm. The toughest habit though was still the before bed last bite. That last snack felt automatic. So Alex changed one thing, it's her dinner. She added more protein, more healthy fats, and fewer carbs. And suddenly the evenings felt different. Her fullness lasted much longer, her satiety carried all the way to bedtime. The cravings that used to shout now faded into a whisper. Most nights, a simple cup of warm chamomile tea before bed was enough to quiet the old habit. 2 weeks in, something unexpected happened. Alex started sleeping better. Finishing dinner earlier meant no late night insulin spikes, no heavy digestion keeping her awake, no bloating, no reflux when she's lying down. Her body finally shifted out of the processing mode during the night and into a kind of a winding down mode. Bit by bit, her natural circadian rhythm returned. Nights felt calmer, mornings felt clearer, and sleep definitely became restorative again. Alex is now 3 months into her new routine. Her waist is certainly smaller, the scale is moving in the right direction, and her doctor says her blood tests look much better than they have ever been in the last few years. She feels more in control of food rather than the other way around, and her friends are starting inquiring and asking her about what she did. This is intermittent fasting in real life. Kind of a gentle start, a smarter dinner, clearer structure, calmer nights, and the rhythm that finally feels natural, not forced. Now fasting gets much easier when you know the right tricks. So if you want to take a step to try intermittent fasting, the next section will be very helpful and useful for you. I will walk you through the 3 top tips that helps most people get the results without frustration. The first tip is start gently. Don't rush the fasting window. Most people go wrong by pushing too fast too soon. Long fasting window can trigger cravings, frustrations, and make the whole routine very difficult to maintain. For many people, just delaying the breakfast or skipping it altogether is the easiest starting point. Begin with something like 12 hours, and then you could move to 14 hours. Let your body adapt slowly, like Alex did. And when cravings show up, lean on simple helpers, something like herbal teas, chamomile, ginger, and lemon. These warm infusions will be your allies when hunger starts whispering. The second tip is don't turn fasting into a reward system. Finishing a fast can trick you to feel like, oh, I need to treat myself now, I earned it. But that pulls you back straight into the habits that you were trying to break. Stick to a balanced meal, something intentional. Don't compensate for your fast by overeating during the eating window. So instead of saying, I have fasted, so now I deserve a massive takeaway, think something like, I fasted, so I will choose something that supports my goals. The third tip is pair fasting with a healthy eating style. Intermittent fasting is not a diet, it's a timing pattern. So the type of food you eat still matters. Choose a healthy eating style that fits your life. Personally, I lean towards the Mediterranean approach, lots of vegetables, healthy oils, moderate protein volume, and fewer carbs. You could explore our Diet Decoded series below and choose the diet that best fits your lifestyle. We have loads of videos about the most popular diets in the world, scientifically analyzed, so you can see which one you want to stick with and work it to your best. So here is the truth. Intermittent fasting is not about starving yourself. It's about giving your body a break to burn the stored fat and wind down. Combine intermittent fasting with a healthier way of eating and the benefits begin to compound, helping you reverse years of snacking and constant eating. This is part 2 of the intermittent fasting chapter in the Diet Decoded series. If you found this helpful, please share it with somebody who might benefit from it and subscribe for more practical evidence-based videos. You could revisit the first part of the intermittent fasting chapter. The link you will find it below. See you in the next video.